Hello, my friends, and welcome to the PMP exam situation room. Let's jump straight into our process questions for today from the process domain. Take some time to read the question, answer to the best of your ability, and I will reveal the answer after. A project with a decided upon schedule baseline is at risk of missing its key value goals. The project is nearing completion, but the project manager realizes that some of the expected benefits are not as impactful as initially anticipated. What should the project manager do? I'll give you some time to think about it. All right, let's take a look at the possible answers. In the classic style of PMP exam elimination, let's look at what we can eliminate from here. So, some of the expected benefits, and on the exam, you might want to do something similar, are not as impactful. And you can use a highlighter to highlight the most important parts. So some of the expected benefits are not as impactful. What would you do? Would you just leave things as they are? You wouldn't. So the option that says focus on upholding the baseline and completing the project as planned without altering the course and then expanding the benefits. How is that even sensible to keep plowing down a path that is not going to yield the benefits you expect? So we wouldn't choose A. A is not a very good choice, even though it sounds sensible. It is not the best option. Let's take a look at B. Re-evaluate the project objectives and adjust the plan to enhance project's benefits. The plan could mean the benefits management plan. It could mean the project management plan. But regardless, it does sound like a sensible thing to do to reevaluate the project objectives and do what you need to do to enhance project's benefits. So we're going to keep that in our back pocket. Let's take a look at C. Report the situation to senior management or stakeholders and seek guidance on how to proceed. You are the project manager. This is never the best option. Or I should say, 99% of the time, this will not be the best option to seek guidance from stakeholders and senior management. Not the best option. Let's take a look at option D. Increase marketing efforts to highlight the project's benefits more effectively for stakeholder comprehension. That is not the problem. The problem is not that the stakeholders understand. So with the process of elimination, we can see that the best solution here is to reevaluate the project objectives and adjust the plan to enhance project benefits. The benefits are not as impactful. So what can you do to ensure that they are? That's the question. Everything that we're looking at does not really move the situation forward except B, okay? And that's why the answer to that is B. Reevaluate the project benefits and adjust the plan to enhance benefits. Reevaluating and adjusting the plan aligns with the task of delivering project benefits and value, ensuring the project outcomes are as beneficial as possible. Completing as planned might miss the opportunity to maximize the benefits, while seeking stakeholder guidance first is poor leadership. It should be preceded with thorough analysis. Increasing marketing does not directly address the issue of diminished benefits. Let's move to our next question, my friends. And remember, on the exam, you will be under a lot more pressure than in this more relaxed environment. And that is what makes the exam hard. So get into that vein, that mindset. Here we go. A company has been awarded an agricultural pest control contract in Mali, West Africa, over 20,000 acres of farmland. An unexpected regulatory change has occurred that impacts the project's compliance requirements. The project is midway through its execution. What should the project manager do? All right, let's take a look at the options. And again, we will use the process of elimination to get rid of things that will not move the situation forward. Option A, continue with the current plan and address compliance issues after project completion. Now, that is not wise. Compliance needs to be baked in. It said the project's compliance requirements. We shouldn't ignore that. So A is not the best option. B, pause the project to fully understand the impact of the regulatory change before proceeding any further. Now, pausing the project is not in the jurisdiction of the project manager, and pausing the project might end up having cost overruns and further schedule delays that could impact the project adversely. B is not the sensible thing to do. C, update the project plan to incorporate the new compliance requirements with stakeholder input. It doesn't sound like a bad idea to update your project management plan. And when it says stakeholders, that includes the customer, could include the sponsor as well. So let's not get rid of C. Let's take a look at D. Delegate the responsibility of ensuring compliance to a legal expert who has experience in this domain. While that sounds like a plausible option, based on the limited amount of information, we don't even know if this is possible. And the responsibility of ensuring compliance is what the project manager should be doing, not delegating it to someone else. This is very serious. Now, you could bring in people to help you better understand compliance, but delegating the responsibility is a bogus option. And therefore, we will go with C. Update the project plan to incorporate the new compliance requirements. And when it says with stakeholder input, that could mean the CCB or a number of other important stakeholders. So let's take a look at the answer. Update the project plan to incorporate the new compliance requirements. This step must occur, as most times there's no middle ground when it comes to compliance requirements. It has to be understood and built in. Updating the project plan for new compliance requirements is essential for addressing the external business environment changes. Continuing as is might lead to compliance issues. Pausing the project could cause unnecessary delays. And while involving a legal expert is useful, it should be part of a broader plan update. So, my friends, as you can see from here, the best answer is C. It's all about what is the best thing to do. And that's exactly how the exam is. Let's take a look at the next question. A project-oriented organization is undergoing a significant shift in its operating model. This shift affects a major infrastructure project strategic alignment. What should the project manager do? I'll give you some time to think about it. Okay, once again, we will use the process of elimination. A, keep the project aligned with the original plan, irrespective of organizational changes. Again, A is like plowing down a path that you know will not lead to alignment or the result that you're seeking. So it's not the best option. A is not the best choice. B, realign the project to support the new organizational model and strategic direction. That doesn't sound bad. Take a look at C. Seek advice from senior management on how to proceed with the project. Seeking advice from senior management is not our go-to. That is not the best thing to do, because you've got to think on this exam as a project management professional. That is not the option PMI is looking for. What they're looking for is for you to take charge, be more assertive, and be more proactive. So it's not C. Option D, minimize communication about organizational changes to keep the team focused. That is like burying your head in the sand. And therefore, the best option is to realign the project to support the new organizational model and strategic direction. Okay. Let's take a look at the logic and the rationale in a bit more detail. Realigning the project ensures it supports organizational change and remains strategically relevant. Keeping the original alignment, option A, might make the project irrelevant. Seeking advice, option C, is important, but should be followed by proactive realignment, and minimizing communication could lead to confusion and misalignment. So what you're seeing here is just shades of different ideas. Option C is not a bad idea, but it's not your go-to, right? You first of all do your analysis and come up with some ideas of how to proceed, and then you could bring them in, and then you've got to realign. That's the key thing. So just saying seek advice is lame, and that's why the best option was option B. Let's move on to our next question. Question 18. A project is part of a larger organizational change initiative. During the project, the team identifies several inefficiencies in existing processes that are causing delays and increasing costs. What should the project manager do? Take some time to think about it. Choose the right answer. All right, as usual, let's take a look at the options and use the process of elimination. So, during the project, the team identifies several inefficiencies in existing processes. These are causing delays and increasing cost. So, option A, continue with the existing project process to avoid further disruptions and overruns, is not the best option. That's counter, right? That's against what we want. B, implement improvements immediately to address the inefficiencies using your expertise. Now, while that doesn't sound completely bad, using your expertise, that kind of negates the team. So I'm a bit suspicious about that. Let's take a look and see if we can find a better idea. All right, because it says several inefficiencies, right? The team identifies these. So just going by your expertise is a bit concerning. Option C, plan a review at project's end to avoid impacting ongoing work. That will impact ongoing work. So it's not that. Let's take a look at D. Engage the team in a structured process improvement exercise. Now we're talking. Structured process improvement with the engagement of a team is preferred over solo efforts. So I would choose option B, even though option B sounds good, but option D to me is the better one. And the best answer, my friends, is D. Engaging in a structured improvement exercise reflects continuous process improvement with team input, addressing inefficiencies without disrupting ongoing work. Continuing as is ignores the identified issues. Immediate implementation, just using your expertise alone, might disrupt ongoing activities, and this is not in the spirit of teamwork. And postponing the review delays potential benefits. All right, my friends, we have a final question here, and this is question 19. Let's read. The project manager realizes that valuable lessons learned are not being captured or shared effectively with the organization. What should the project manager do? I'll give you some time to think. All right, let's examine the answers now. So, A, focus on project delivery and address knowledge management during post-mortem events after project completion. And that's not entirely bad. It's better to get some lessons learned at the end than none, but it's actually not best, because if we could proactively, incrementally collect lessons learned, that's what we prefer. So we're not going to jump at A immediately. I'm going to say A is probably wrong, but let's take a look and see if we can find something better. B, create a centralized repository for lessons learned and encourage team contributions. It's not a bad thing to do. That means the team can add to the repository at any time. So I'm going to go with B over A. I'm going to cancel A and go with B. Let's take a look at C. Delegate the task of capturing lessons learned to a junior team member using a simple, manageable tool. Delegating lessons learned to one individual is not the way to proceed. Lessons learned should be gathered all through the project by different people on the team contributing to the repository, not waiting for one central person. It's not in the spirit of Agile either, so it won't be C. D, limits the capture of lessons learned to major project milestones. Well, if you do that and there's something really important that needs to be shared and you're limiting the disbursement of lessons learned, it could hurt the project. And therefore, the best answer in this question is option B. Option B, create a centralized repository for lessons learned and encourage team distribution. Here's the logic. Creating a repository of lessons learned effectively supports knowledge management, ensuring valuable insights are captured and shared. Focusing only on delivery misses the opportunity for continuous learning. Delegating to one person might not capture all perspectives, and limiting to milestones could overlook continuous learning opportunities. And there you have it, my friends. We have finished the process domain. If you haven't watched the people domain that we started earlier on, please do that. Highly advise it. And if you are looking for training, coaching, and help on your PMP exam, just go on down to Praizion.com. We have various courses, on-demand courses especially, that you can sign up for. And when you sign up for the course, be sure to let me know so that I can get you some additional benefits and bonus from being on my Elite PMP course. It's called Elite PMP. And all you need to do is go to Praizion.com and you can find the latest and greatest information about that program. For your PMP exam, my friends, it's very important that you remember this exam is highly situational. This is the name of the game. You could study all the ITTOs and processes and tools till the cows come home, but if you're not able to tackle situational questions and think situationally, you will struggle, which is why I'm bringing this series to you for you to see how to tackle people domain questions, process domain questions, which we finished today. And then we're going to be going into the business style questions. All right, my friends, you take care. All the very best, and bye for now.